there we go.
There it is. What's up,
You know,
man?
whenever that happens, it's almost like you go to get into bed and the first person's already crawled in and they're on your side.
Yeah,
It just doesn't feel right. You're just sitting there
yeah,
like, the fuck?
yeah. You're like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
What's going on? What are you doing?
Hey, B, how are you?
I'm good, man. How are you? Hey, nice mug. Nice looking mug.
It's my Thursday gear now. So
There
far,
you go.
there's nothing else now. Just this
There you
mug,
go.
this tank. Oh, not tank top, sorry. Hoodie. I could not do a tank top. I do not have the arms for that shit. Yeah,
I was like, is that what
real.
you guys call a tank top in Canada?
Right? Especially, maybe if I had one of those half cuts too. Wouldn't that be a toys day? Fuck.
Oh man, that would be great. That would be
So if
great.
if I'm not mistaken, you're gonna be driving out to Assembly Required this weekend, right?
Driving. Oh, that's a negative. I will be flying in an
Oh,
aeroplane. Yeah, that's cross country, my dude. That's about as far cross country as it gets.
well,
That's like
Yo-Yo
West Coast
Dine
to
is
East
doing it,
Coast. What's that?
and I heard Grace Skull and Yo-Yo Dine are doing it. So
Well, they're coming from Toronto though, right? Like Toronto to North Carolina, I don't know how many hours that is. For me,
I think they
ugh,
said 8 or 9. Plus, they're yahoos. They've mapped out and have like crossed off all the frickin' toy stores, vintage shops, anything you can find along the way. So of course their trip will be like quadrupled.
for sure. For sure. It would take me to for me to drive there, it would take me a few days. For sure. A few days of like nonstop driving, which, you know, I don't know if I could do that.
I'm very intrigued. You've got things to your right this evening that I don't know if I've
Oh,
seen before, and I'm sure they'll come out. But hot damn,
yes.
I'm intrigued.
Bro. Straight up. So I was talking to Plastic Jesus probably sometime over the last week. For whatever reason, there is just like these runs of time where stuff becomes available that it's like stuff I've never seen before or stuff that I've been trying to get. The fingernails that came out from H&H recently. That one, dude, I just happened to jump on Instagram at like a couple seconds after it dropped, and I snagged one of those. I've been waiting on one of those for years now, but yeah, dude, it's weird. Just an odd time for stuff to be getting released. Assembly required's coming up, so good times.
The makers are going hard for it. Even Slipshot Average, right at the very top of the chat, there working on stuff for Assembly Required. So I'll have to catch this later. Have a great show. That seems to be the consensus for a lot of folks, man. Just fucking grinding it out. Assembly Required.
Yeah, that's going to be a good one, man. Lots of people working on some stuff. I saw Cool Cat post some stuff the other day. That turtle with the castle on the top, dude. I don't
Oh
know if you
my
saw that.
goodness. Oh,
Holy
there's a
shit.
couple makers in this scene, man. They just put you to shame. I won't lie. I like it's the last week probably 2 a.m. almost any time, and then 6:30 every time because you're just trying to get in any creative time that you can, whether it be fucking pulling out a cast and cleaning it up. Because let's be real, and all the homies know this, man. Like if you get to pull a cast, you better pour a cast because it's got that stupid cure time, right? So it's one of those things where it's like, especially if you're going to be going to bed, you're like, oh, hell yeah, that's 8 hours. So I can just fucking knock
Mm,
off the cure time I'm sleeping, or you're about to go work your day job, get a cast in before you leave. Like, those are all
yeah.
those things you try and do, right? But just that on top of like painting things, spraying things, fucking, I don't know how some of these dudes do it, man. Zymet Co., fucking Cool Cat, fucking RessinBlood down there. I don't get it. There's not enough coffee. There's not enough hours.
Mm.
I don't get it.
Yeah, dude, and like we said, especially times like this when we're getting ready. First of all, it's a new year, and I think everybody's coming out really strong. And then
Hell yeah.
AAR, Jonathan Queen, we'll talk to him in a second, dude. But he's got the Bat Kid with the mask. Get out of town, dude. Holy shit.
Well, and even when you go back and you start looking at the process photos for that piece, it's sick to just see that like now it's in fruition. They can do all these different things. They've got that model. They've got the buck now, so to speak.
Yeah, it's dope, man. That's it's his first show tabling, so that'll be cool to kind of get his perspective on that. And he's gonna be tabling with Resin Blood, who will be with us, and I believe One Trick Pony as well. So what an epic table that will be, dude. Can you imagine that shit? Walking
Jeez.
up on that. Dude.
Say
Uh
the dudes in the chat there. I'll pop off screen. You can say hi to all the homies on in the chat there.
Fletcher Tea Sandwich. This one's going to be a banger of an episode. I agree. Slipshot Average. What is up? Getting ready for assembly required. Suki from FKD. What's going on, man? Gray Skull Toys. See you soon. Mr. Ordinary. What's going on? Zymot. What's going on? We're going to take a look at a couple baffle racks this evening. I did not put that in the post, but those came in, so we'll take a look at those. Michael, what's going on, dude? Hobo Toys. Issue 4. We're going to take a look at that tonight. That came in today as well. Very excited. Very cool. Doc Horror, what's going on? Abaddon, what's going on? Folklore, what is up? Toys and Tits, what's going on? Bootleg Toyco. You Maniac. Dre, what's going on? Eric Folkerts Pedals, what's up, dude? Foo, 35-hour drive. That would be brutal. Dane Marks 152, what's going on? Recycle Galaxy, Acid 9, Kevy Cold Cuts back in the house. Fletcher T Sandwich says he just smashed a hot dog at Boondoggies. Is that cool? We don't have one of those out here, but that I think that's a Bay Area thing.
Okay, I was gonna say at least you don't know what the heck he's talking about either. DeMark's Toys for any of the homies that are gonna be looking out. They're saying they're gonna be driving there as well. 3-hour drive. Anybody who also prefers it as well. I know on Thursday nights or on Wednesday nights, Chase also does their IGLive for anybody who's bouncing on IG and it's easier for you. I did turn on the IGLive for this one in particular as well. So we've got that rolling for it as well because I figured these dudes are too cool. We can't mix them. Oh, look at you.
Dude.
You migrated over to YouTube anyways. You were like, this is where all the fucking fun chat is.
Yeah, gonna be a good one, man. It's we'll talk about a whole bunch of things. I feel like we're gonna have Jonathan Queen back on at some point just to talk about him in general, over his whole body of work because there's so much. But this will be a good one too.
I'm glad that you specifically use the word body of work because if anybody who is in the chat hasn't been over their page, what an interesting page, man. Because I was even trying to explain to somebody earlier, Rose, I'm really excited to sit with this person because we deal with a lot of people who they paint toys, but this dude paints toys. You know? And then you start kind of trying to show that, and they're like, and there's a couple with not to get nerdy about it, but the light when you see the packaging on some of those, when they paint a figure in a package, and you're trying to think of the way that the refracted light and shit is all in there to try and show the depth and
you know what's funny, dude, is I've showed a lot of the work to people, and sometimes it's funny because I think more often than not people zoom in and they go, oh shit, that's a painting. And you just
well,
sure
and they have
is.
a lot of process shots in there, and I'm sure they almost have to because there's probably a lot of times people even almost mistake it as photographs and So yeah, funny man.
He's got the new Heroes and Villains Motu set going on right now too. That's very cool. We'll talk about Bat Kid, and then also if you've been following along, there is a resin release, a resin kaiju figure that's coming to assembly required that looks super sick, so we'll take a look at that as well. Dane Marks 152 is Buzzard Guts. Buzzard Guts, what is going on, man? Legendary. Check that guy out if you don't know what's up.
See, and now because I've been cruising through their IG. I've been trying to make sure I'm on it the last couple of days, but you mentioning that they have a resin in the Bat Boy.
No, it's a different kaiju figure with a skull head.
Right.
It might have been. I don't know if there was a poster. It might have been a story, but it's.
I'll creep for it while we're chatting tonight.
Yeah, looks very, very cool.
Also, you want to pull these yahoos in together tonight, or you want to do them one by one? It's always fun when we do it.
We'll bring them in together. I don't know where Eddie is. He'll pop up. I'm sure he's over in the cave somewhere. Oh, there he is.
They've moved locations. They're not still in the Bat Cave, are they? Oh, they're back into the cave.
Yeah,
the fucking nitro gloves on and everything, man.
He's ready.
So probably land some casts. You want to pull them in? What are you feeling?
Let's
You
do
guys
it.
good? We're doing
We're doing it
it.
anyways.
Hey guys.
Gentlemen, how are you?
Good. How are you doing?
What is going on, gentlemen? Jonathan Queen and Eddie Kess in the house. What is up, gents?
How he's doing?
Eddie
Before we
just
get
casted something a few minutes ago.
110.
How you's doing, dude? Okay, let's just get it out of the way right now. I saw your haircut in a reel or something recently. What's going on? What a handsome fella. Um, First time I've seen you with this short hair, man.
Yeah, I don't
Looks
know.
younger.
I got sick of it. I got sick of it being in my food and everything. So
No.
I don't know. And then I like did this like mohawk thing, and I had some dreads in the back, and then it started itching, and I don't know. I kind of always used to play with my hair all the time, but I grew it long for a while, so you know.
Oh, looks good, man. You look like a lawyer.
Thanks.
No problem.
I try.
Jonathan Queen, man. So what is the vibe right now, man? We are right on the verge of assembly required. As a matter of fact, first, why don't you introduce yourself? It's your first time with us.
Okay. I'm Jonathan Queen, Graveyard Shift Toys, and yeah, assembly required is going to be my first time tabling. Glad I'm going to be there with Eddie and Max, One Trick Pony, and I'm really excited. Yeah, crunch time. I was trying to clear stuff today. I found out I needed to repair a hose on my radiator on my car so I could get to the studio and do this. So I've got a long night. I brought some of what I'm bringing to show you guys, and then there's one more release that I'm going to finish tonight, and then you'll see it. You'll see it at the show, B.
Nice. Man, so what is the I mean, dude, to be going into a show and to be tabling with Eddie and Max, it's kind of like going to a show like your first show with training wheels on, kind of, right? Because these guys are both obviously vets, been doing so many shows. What concerns do you have right now going into your first show? I have a feeling, I mean, if it's anything like your drops, stuff is probably going to sell pretty darn quick.
Well, I went to assembly last year to shop, and I don't know. I just feel like it's one of those things where I don't have a big price range. Part of the reason I did the resin piece was to have a lower price point, but yeah, I feel like I don't have enough product. That's kind of my everything. I put a lot of time into it, and I want it just a certain way, and so I'm trying to figure out how to keep integrity with the pieces, and then also mix it up some.
If I may, Eddie, man, you're a vet. Like, what would you say about quantity of product and also matching quality while trying to ensure you have a wide range?
I think that he has enough, and I think it's a smaller show, and it's like I don't know. I feel like everyone knows the deal with assembly. It's like it's always been like a community show and like a yearly meetup, and there's a lot of new guys this year, and so I mean I don't know. I have a lot of stuff, so I made a bunch of stuff last week for the tattoo convention, so I'm like doing some extra resin stuff now, but I think like even if he has a small amount, I think like the stuff I saw is so nice, and so like I mean, I guess it would suck to not have enough if you were just like everything's flying off the table, but like I don't want to say that assembly's not a busy show because I had a really busy show last year, but I don't know. I just feel like whatever he has, like it'll be enough.
It's a much more concentrated show, man. I mean, I think size wise, it's definitely smaller, but I think it's just it's that one or two rows of designer con kind of on steroids. I mean, if you take that one row, 1 or 2 rows of designer con, you know, it's just a lot of at Designer Con, plus some of the other Safubi artists. I don't know how many you'd have together, but I don't think you'd still have as many as you have at Assembly Required. So
Right.
that's kind of what I like about Assembly Required too, man. It feels like it's just more focused. I mean, even though you get a little bit of everything, right? You get a little bit of apparel and some prints and some kind of miscellaneous stuff like that. But for the most part, it's people that we deal with immediately here in the scene.
It's a
Um,
resin show.
yeah, resin. I bought some good vinyl there. I'll get some vinyl there this year. Ophelia is going to be there. That's going to be dope. There's going to be a Wonder Goblin's going to be there. There's going to be some good resin there. Or some good vinyl. Monster Bloodbath will be there again. That'll be another good one. Jonathan Queen will be there. That'll be a good one.
Yeah. There's a good variety of stuff.
Good
I'm
variety.
assuming you guys will have like prints, magnets, stickers.
Yeah. Shirts.
I got a bunch of stickers made for the first.
Right.
I've had a couple, but yeah, that was one of the realizations. It's like the Bat Fink is my most expensive toy I've ever made, and I'm sure people are going to see it and like it. So I did a painting.
Oh, man,
That's an
dope.
acrylic painting that I did to use for the header card, and I also got stickers made of it.
Killer.
The
Looks
level
great,
of
right?
depth on that is fucking stupid,
Dude, I was
man.
just gonna say that it looks like it
What
looks
the
3D,
fuck?
like it's coming out of you, man. That is sick.
It's funny because I tried to make it graphic. Like that's flat for me.
Oh God, that's nuts. That's crazy.
Yeah. Everything you've been posting looks amazing.
That'll pop from across the room as well, man. Absolutely. Like the work already is going to. I'm nosy. And how do you feel with this one being a toy one? Like you haven't been physically making toys for a while. Does it like what's kind of the expectation? I guess, or like the hopes.
I kind of feel like my goal is to kind of create a nostalgia that's something that somebody didn't have. It's like having a nostalgia for something that you've never seen before. And I just feel like I want these toys to, I almost kind of want people to question their age. Like when were these produced? Because when I first started doing paintings, I was a figure painter in college, and then I started doing still life, like skulls and bottles and stuff like that. And then I painted a big boy bank for a small work show, and it's like all of a sudden the figure came back to my work in toy form. And so for like 20 years, I've been painting toys, and then I would customize stuff. So now it's kind of like I'm trying to create product to. One of my main goals was to do paintings of the toys that I'm making, and I haven't gotten to do it that much yet. So it's like everything's kind of coming together. A lot of the different toy ideas I've had for making masks for toys, I thought, well, I have my own toy now. The mask should be for Bat Kid. And so it's like everything's just getting folded in, and it's really exciting.
Yeah.
So
I don't know. I don't know if I answer your question. You're talking about expectations. It's kind of like, to be honest, I'm taking these pieces and I'm wondering if it's outside of people's price point. Coming to a show, I know you have like a set amount, and if you see this one thing and it's going to take a big chunk, or you could get 3 things instead.
Right.
I'm okay with that. I feel like I need to stay in my lane. I'm trying to just be inspired by myself and not try to compete or match what somebody else is doing, and hopefully the right audience finds it.
There's 2 things that come to mind. I remember Barbarian Rage saying, anybody who says that you're priced too high probably won't buy your work no matter what it was priced anyways. So you can kind of get that person off your shoulder. And then Dove always says it, man, like everything sells eventually. If anything, like you never know with these pieces. You might go to that show and it might, like you said, like you want that nostalgia that resonates with people. They might be thinking about this until that next paycheck, until that next birthday, whatever it might be. Like I think you hit it on the mark with this piece, dude.
Yeah, they're amazing. Look at that.
There's
Dude,
only
I'll be
6 of this colorway, but I'm not limiting it to that. Like this one, the most unique thing, I'm calling it brown eyes because he has brown eyes. And so it's kind of, and this is just the first of 2. I'm planning on doing kind of an 80s green, messy hair mask. And I have some green vinyl that I'm going to be painting up some green bat finks. And it's just, I actually for the first time did a poll, and it was really close, but I'd already started the one with the hillbilly hat. So I'm like, if I'm going to make both, and this one's almost done, I'm just doing it first.
Yeah, there you go. God, those are cool. Dude, I'd be blown away if they don't sell out on the first day. I'd be even more shocked if they didn't sell it on the second day. And I think that if some anomaly happens and they don't sell out, I think the minute that you put any amount of those online, that they would probably go. Um, the paint job on those, man, is what blows me away. I know that you were talking about how you want people to question how old they are. And I mean, dude, like the look on those, on all of them, even the ones that we just saw, it's got that old school paint feel to it, man. That's a crazy job. Are more masks in the work down the way, man? I mean, I'm assuming that all of these are on the same size, and so you could probably put them on whatever bat kid that you have.
Yeah, masks. And then also I would like to eventually be able to sell masks by themselves. So it's like if you already have a bat kid, you could buy a mask for them. If you have other toys that are similar size, you could buy mask for that. Yeah, so it's just kind of one step at a time. I experimented with a silicone alternative to cast the puck, but for some reason, some moisture level caused the surface to be riddled with holes. So I basically had to resculpt it a second time. And yeah, it's just, I mean, you learn as you go. And it's funny because we were talking about, Crumbs was saying that about painting toys and then painting toys. And it's like, I'm making masks for toys. I make paint masks to paint the toys. And then I make paint masks to paint the masks. And it's kind of like, what I was really drawn to when I first started buying old toys, it was like 50 squeaky toys were cheap. They looked really old. They had a good personality, and they became the actors in my staged still life. And what I loved about it was you could look at those toys and you could tell like this person was probably like 6 hours through their day, and they just threw this one in. It's like they didn't go all the way around. So sometimes patterns would fade out, or sometimes things would overlap or seat incorrectly, and you'd get overspray. And so I'm very detail oriented in my oil paintings, and I'm not an outsider, naive artist so it's kind of, it's like I don't want to feel fake messing something up, but I felt like if I can make the type of masks and use them in a way to create that little bit of imperfection, the wabi-sabi kind of like embracing handmade. And even though these are low run, I put them on in a way and I spray it in a way and where I try to get a little variety. And I feel like it just gives it some life. And that's part of what, like the matte quality of this Mexican vinyl also gives it like a real kind of 60s, 70s feel.
Yeah, it does, man. It definitely has a different feel to it. It's a Mexican vinyl on the back kid.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. Are you bringing painting? Are you just bringing vinyl to the show? Or I know that you said you got a resin piece that you're bringing. What about? I know that you sell the paintings. Do you bring the paintings to shows?
I'm not planning on bringing any paintings. The Motu portraits you were talking about, I'm halfway through the 11th of 12 that I'm going to finish, and then I'm planning on selling the originals and then doing a print release where it's like 6 heroes, 6 villains. But I have some of these here, like good.
Ooh, god
So
damn.
this is acrylic. They're all 6-inch square. I don't know if it's there or not.
But there we go.
So basically, this is me tapping into a nostalgia that very much exists, because when I first started buying, my first Motu toys were before the cartoon was out. And that's something that One Trick Pony and I talk about, because he's young enough to not have seen the show, and I was old enough to get toys before the show. And so we both have like this Skeletor.
Oh god.
This is like the Peach Cheeks one, where his boots, the back half wasn't painted. And see, that it goes back to manufacturing. I mean, part of my love for toys was being a kid and going like, why are his boots skin colored on the back? It's because the face was so complex and expensive to make. They said, don't turn the legs around. And then when they dropped the peach out of the cheeks, they could flip the legs and paint the rest of the boots. And so I struggled with finding a Skeletor after the one I had as a kid got destroyed. But when I saw the peach cheeks, it's like I time traveled, and just holding it. And when you're a kid, like your toys are bigger. And so that's why I thought, like, I'm not trying to paint the lore. I'm trying to paint the, like, what it feels like to be a kid and just be staring at that toy, and the way the expression kind of looks back at you, and that interaction. So that's what those paintings are about.
You know, it's that's a very interesting take on that, man, because I think when I look at Bat Kid and I make the Bat Kid connection to Big Boy, I think that's exactly what it does for me, man. There's an artist, Has Been Toys. He's not currently making anything right now, but he had made a little bendable Big Boy a few years ago, and that's the first thing that it did for me. It took me back to a Bob's Big Boy restaurant that I used to go to in Southern Oregon with my grandparents, and that was like the place that we went. Like every time we went to visit them, that's where we went, and that's what the Big Boy, that's what the Bat Kid does for me too. Just because I have that exact same scale, that exact same Big Boy next to these, and it's crazy to look at that, and then you put the the old school paint with it too. And it just takes it over the top, dude. I think that one's just like a complete home run in every freaking way. Super stoked to see those new ones this weekend too. Ed, what do you got working over there, broski? What are you doing?
I've been tattooing for the last 2 days, but
Oh, come on, man. What else you got going on? I know you're doing more than that.
I've been making some of these. Some of the praying mantises.
Those are nice, dude. I like those. I got one of those from you at, I believe it was DesignerCon a couple years ago on a card. By the way, Crumbs was having a little bit of internet problems. He's going to be jumping back in here in a minute. But that figure right there, that's a dope one, man. I like that.
Yeah, I gotta still clean these up, but I'm just making some back stuff. I got a new thing I'm working on, and I just cut it out before the show, so I'm still figuring it out. I might have it at the show, but I had the tattoo convention last week, so I made those new shirts, and I put together a bunch of toys like a week ago. So I had a lot of stuff ready and packed, so I was happy about that. So I wasn't really doing like a suicide run here. I already have enough stuff, and me and Jonathan and Max are sharing. So yeah. So the table space is a little limited. So I don't need like a ton of stuff. So, but I already have a lot of stuff. So yeah. But
well, I was gonna say, so you got resin. I'm sure you're bringing some vinyl. You got T-shirts. Are you bringing any paintings?
I don't know about. I think I might bring Krang just to bring it, but I got new prints, so that's good. Stuff I painted over the summer, So, and I got that new comic book going on, but I'm not going to have it at the show this weekend. So I just got some of the proofs and stuff. So I'm getting excited about that. So
Dude,
it looks pretty good on paper.
The comic book's unreal, man. That thing is super, super cool. I know that you've been trying to get Jonathan to go to shows and set up. You finally got him to go to this one. It's going to be a table with you, Max, and him, man. What are expectations for you, man? I feel like you're a vet at these things now. I don't know how many assembly required this makes for you. At least probably what, 4 or 5 now?
5, yeah.
5.
Yeah, I mean, he's got a new toy out, and it's his first vinyl toy. So I just thought he should get it out, and we agreed. And then, so I mean, he came to assembly last year, and so he knows what it looks like, And but yeah, expectations. I don't know. I expect everyone to have fun because it's fun, and we have a good party there at nighttime and all, and so it's fun. I'm going to
Yeah,
be doing some tattoos there.
nice. Nice. I was just gonna say you're gonna be doing some tattoos there. This one, the hotel's connected to the venue, is that right?
Yeah, that's the best.
That is, I agree, man. That makes things a lot more convenient.
Yeah, you don't
Um,
have to leave the building all the time.
yeah. So Jonathan, is this just gonna be is this the first of many shows for you? I don't want to say many, but I mean, are there
It's
any
the
more
first
push?
one. I'm
Yeah.
not thinking past it right now. I'm just trying to get to it.
Yeah.
I hope to. Yeah, I was talking to Eddie about a month ago, and I was saying, like, I don't know if I'm gonna have enough stuff. Like, I don't know if I should try to, because my price point feels high compared to what other people make. Should I wait and try to go to a bigger show? And then the next day, I woke up and I just thought, what am I talking about? Like, I already felt the vibe when I visited last year, and I thought this is perfect. This is perfect time. I just need to make it happen. And so
Yeah.
I haven't even painted. I have like 3 deadline things that I'm trying to shuffle around, but you can't work on more than one thing at a time. So it's been toys and bad weather, and man, you're supposed to paint. You're not supposed to use vinyl under like 55 degrees, and when it's like 0 outside.
Yeah.
I made a little plastic tent in the corner of my garage, and I have a heater running full blast,
Oh
which
wow.
is kind of okay until you turn the exhaust fan on.
Yeah, yeah.
But I'm making it work.
Oh man, the prep for shows like this, especially your first one. I mean, I'm sure there's a lot of pressure. I think, and Eddie and I have talked about this before too, man. It not only does, Crumbs was saying that Dove says everything sells eventually. I think cool shit sells too, man. You know what I mean? I think no matter what the price point is, like I've seen, I think we've all seen stuff sell for, a lot. And that's one thing that's kind of cool about this scene is that there's, no matter what your price point is, I think there's something for everybody. You can get, carded pieces or loose pieces for as low as, 20, $25. And then you have, really high end Safubi stuff that goes for 400 or 500 bucks that gets snapped up really quick, and then everything in between. So I think that's like I said, one of the cool things. I don't know if there really is a price point for the show. I think you have a lot of bases covered, man. If you have your regular back kit and then something that's higher and then something even lower with the resin. Did I see the resin piece? Did you do a post or was that in a story? What was that?
It was just on a story, and so like the history of this is in the monster craze of the 60s in Japan. Pachi Kaiju, like fake monsters, were basically they were making bootleg versions of existing monsters from shows. So they took Alien Baltan and Antler from Ultraman and put a human skull head on it, and it was called like Gaikatsu Baltan, basically like Skull Baltan, and it just got shortened to Galtan. And so that was just a collector card. And on my head, so this is the resin.
That's cool.
That's a crop of the original collector card art, and then my buddy in Japan helped me translate. So this actually does say Skull Claw Ovion Galtan, and so the Ovion body from Battlestar Galactica is the base. This is the back of his head, and then I put his face on the butt. So that's the original Ovion. That's a nice little surprise
Isn't that
there.
awesome? That is so fucking cool.
Alien
Dude.
Baltan's hand. So the
Yes.
head, it's six pieces, so 5 points of articulation. Just plastic pegs. But it stands well. You can raise his arms, like it's weighted enough, I think, because of his big ass face. It like you can raise his arms at different levels and it'll still stand.
Nice. What's the overall height on that thing?
Well, it's a 3 3/4 figure, but with the added head. And I can show you one not in a bag. So
Gotcha.
I did. There's
sweet.
4 of those, and then I started doing some based on like old like Sofubi colorways that I like. The face is from a Skeletor. Actually, got a cast of a Skeletor head from One Trick Pony, and then I cut the face out of the mask and put it on a Scareglow cranium.
Damn.
So it's basically Skeletor's face without a hood. And then most of the body, there's a lot of like shifting and sculpting. The forearms are from Alien Baltan, but I wanted to cast the claws separately. Most of the body is Ovion. I made this out of like a spoon and just some 2-part epoxy. But that's kind of like Antlar's neck, the back of his head. But that's basically it. So it's about 5 inches tall, but skinny, like way skinnier than a He-Man.
Yeah, God, that is cool. Now, is that your first? What kind of work have you done in resin? Resin is not something that I usually associate with you as an artist.
No, I started Bat Kid as a prop for a painting about almost 10 years ago. And then I got invited to Diaz for Dracula. And I was like, well, he's a vampire kid. He's bat-like, vampire-like. And so made a silicone mold, started casting resin. I kept getting bubbles. I bought something that was like non-vacuum, but I was still having trouble. So by the time I had a few of them lining up, I painted one resin hard copy for that show. And then I realized this is just way too much work. And it was all hand painted, like a lot of brush work. And I thought, I love seeing them in multiples and I want him to exist. Eddie really encouraged me. He's like, man, you just got to make it. If you make it, people are going to like it. And so I sold this the biggest painting in a show I had a couple of Novembers ago. And I told myself, if I sell that painting, I'm going to get the molds ordered. And I did. So, I mean, I kind of bypassed resin. I go to Max's, see his bat cave. And it was kind of overwhelming. The amount of, I feel like because I'm a self-employed painter, and when I've done stuff like that, like process work, when I've done like production art jobs, it takes a lot of time. And I thought I'd rather be painting the toys, like painting on the toys instead of making the toys. But this was a project. I built this figure about 3 years ago. And it was too precious to just be a one-off for like an Earth to Kentucky show. And so I'd always kind of hoped, if I get into resin. And then when I was talking about coming to this show, I reached out to a friend of One Trick Ponies, Dave Evans, who was like Max's mentor when we all worked together. And I was just like, hey man, can you mold this up and cast me some for this show? So it was right down to the wire. I was trying to have some glow in the dark heads and claws. But it just timing wise, it worked out. I have a couple that are blank that are, and I know that's a thing. Like I'm so into the sculpt of a toy that in my own work, it's hard to leave something blank, because if it's translucent, you're not seeing the texture. So I'm debating, do I bring 2 with glow heads that aren't painted, or do I do a wash and a rub, to kind of heighten the face?
No, bring some blank.
Well, I know you would say that, Eddie.
I like blanks. I think blanks are so cool, and those blanks are really cool. They don't look like blanks.
Yeah. Now, do you collect your own vinyl, Jonathan? Not the stuff that you make, but do you have do you collect vinyl in general?
Yeah, this is most of it back here. Yeah. I started, I did toy prototype sculpting in 2008, 2009. And right as I was I was trying to get hired on full time, get up to speed with wax, and the whole company went digital. And I'm like, I want to use my hands. I don't really want to have to relearn this on my own. So, and I'm a painter first. So I backed out of that, but it's kind of like I've worked all these different odd jobs. My boss at that company collected kaiju sofubi, and so in 2008 is when I learned about the whole scene. And it just seems so expensive. Like I couldn't even imagine. I remember the first toy I spent 3 digits. You know, it's like, this was $110 for this one item, but it's really precious to me. And the design of it, I think even the term like designer con, I'm like, I'm an artist, but I don't know. Like to me, there was something elevated about the term designer. And it's like, I just make stuff. But I think it's hard for creative people to maybe see their own style. I'm sure I have a style, but because I'm the one doing it, it doesn't feel as prevalent to me. So I just think it is a little weird, like starting with a vinyl and then like collabing with somebody to make a resin. And I'm not sure how long lived that's going to be. I might only end up doing like a couple dozen of this, or we might do some changes to create like a long lasting mold. And I'll keep doing them, but like Galtan, like the figure that this is based on from 1970, when that card art was made just to collect cards. Zolman came out with a figure in 2006, and it's my absolute favorite soft vinyl toy. And then I got paid. I got paid for a big show when I went to DCon for the first time in 2022. I got paid at the event, like event mode. Like all of a sudden, it's just like boom, and then I went, and I was able to get my first Galtan, which was the most expensive toy I've ever bought. And
dude, that's so funny. That's what I was gonna ask you. So this is another conversation that Eddie and I have had multiple times, and it's mostly after a show where he's talking about how much money that he made, and he's like, I didn't really make that much money. And I'm like, okay, well, how many things did you buy though? And it's like this long list of stuff, and it's like, well, there's all your money, man.
yeah,
How hard is it, Eddie, for you too? I know that you're gonna be I don't know if you have help at your table this year or not, man, but I know how hard it is to probably be behind the table and want to get out and look around and purchase.
Dude, at some shows, it's like as I make money, I'm running back out to grab stuff because I feel like it's going to sell out, you know. And
Yeah.
I had to really pump the brakes on it because there was a bunch of shows where I'm driving home broke with this gigantic bag of toys, and I'm like, fuck. I mean, it's fun to support and all, but it's like, dude, you know, hundreds of dollars. Jonathan and me, like you, we've had shows where like the numbers like 1,200, 1,700 on toys we bought.
That's a lot.
Yeah. You know.
Well, I mean, that's the thing. Like you said, the money's there all of a sudden, and then what are you supposed to do? Not spend it?
Yeah, and they are
You know?
designer toys. You know, I got a great Garloo over there. It's $800 toy. You know, it's like, I love this stuff. So I don't know. So when I have it, I collect it. You know, and everything's resellable. You know, I don't really sell my stuff, but that's where I kind of back it up in my head. I'm like, it's worth money, and it usually goes up. You know, it can go down, but
And that's pretty much how I justify it too. I say it's an investment, or like Dove said it's affordable art,
Hmm.
right? It which I 100% agree with, but I think that's another thing that I say constantly just to kind of justify it. Now you said earlier that you haven't had the mad rush of making stuff for assembly required. Is that still going to happen, or are you good to go?
I mean, I'm pretty good to go, but I got a bunch of stuff in the works here. I got,
Hey!
I got to. Why is there an echo?
Uh, there you go.
Okay. What's her name? I'm making some of these plastic card backs, and I got a couple of these going, and I got another one over here. This one's nice, and I got some stuff.
Ooh,
I got some stuff in the pot right now,
I like
and
that one, dude. That gray, black, and red. That's very nice.
yeah, thank you. So I'll have a couple of these available. So I'll probably like finish putting these together, and my stuff was like even already packed. So I'm gonna go through everything and make sure I got what I need and head out. I'm driving. I'm gonna leave at like 4 in the morning and fucking drive for fucking 9 hours.
On
So
what day? What day are you leaving?
like tonight, tomorrow, I'm gonna leave at like 4 in the morning, and then because I got the hotel for Thursday. So
Nice. Okay.
but I got to drive for like a fucking day, like so I got to drive for 9 hours. It's a lot. I'm gonna be alone this time, so whatever.
You can do it. You're a big boy. You can do it.
Yeah, I'll be all right.
Yeah, you'll be all right. Um, well, what else is, I mean, I know, and this is something that we always talk about probably afterwards, after the show. Um, as far as just kind of like the whole vibe of the show, man. I think Jonathan, you were saying a little bit earlier that you kind of got some of that vibe last year where it is more than just, buying and selling toys. It is, you really get a sense, especially at a smaller focus show like Assembly Required. Um, is that part of the, looking forward to this weekend as well, is just kind of stuff, is just kind of getting away. A lot of people use this as sort of a vacation, I guess. That's how I use it, as a way to just kind of get away and visit with people that we like.
Yeah, well, it's a beautiful town.
It is.
Uh, yeah, and the hotel now that it's in is awesome. So it's really fun. And you just like I drive from PA, so I drive all the way through PA and go to Pittsburgh and go down south and kind of like drive into the mountains, and it's really nice. And so I like it, fucking. And yeah, it's like the little breakfast spots and the little area around there is nice. It's dope.
Yeah, it is a nice little spot, man. It's God, somewhat of a college town, I guess. There is a college there, but there's lots of nightlife there, I guess. But
Yeah, there is. There's
cold as
definitely.
shit right now out there, though, from what I see. Oh my God, dude. It was like 18 degrees there the other day.
What's it today?
I don't know, but that is cold.
I'm gonna check.
I'm freezing over here. I'm complaining it's like 60, and I'm just like, oh my God, it's frigid outside.
Well, thank God it's indoors, right? Um,
Yeah,
it, it ain't
exactly.
like we got to be outside, so it does suck when it's cold, but whatever.
Yeah, and DNS said it right there, man. Meet up with other artists and hang out, and shows are the best. Yeah, that's kind of the whole deal over at Assembly Required, as is at most shows that I've been to. So, um, God, Ed. So you said this is your fifth one or your sixth one?
Yeah, it's my fifth.
Your fifth one. And you got new shirts
I don't
that you're
know. It
gonna.
might be my sixth. Like, did he have one in 21? I know I did one like right away. I mean, I think he did do one in 21. So I don't know, but it was at the bar that year. So what year was that? It wasn't at the Gray Lodge. It was before the Gray Lodge. So how many years was it at the Gray? 3,
I
right?
think two or three. Yeah.
Yeah, this might be my 6th year. It's fun.
Cool Cat said you guys have been everyone since 22. So
Okay, it's 5, I guess.
Colder than a vampire's demeanor. I like that. That's very clever.
It's going to be fun. I want to see all the new people that are there.
Yeah, there is quite a few new people that I saw on that list, or just, I shouldn't say new people, or just some accounts that I'm not familiar with. But yeah, it seems like there's a good mix. There's a good mix of people this year. Jonathan, are you 100% ready to go? As far as getting out there, I don't know. Sometimes it seems like people are never 100% ready, and you kind of just end up going.
No, I'm getting ready to go home and paint all night.
Oh God.
So yeah, I don't even know what time it is right now. I mean, that's graveyard shift. Like I work at the studio, and then I go home, and then I work. And so that's when I feel creative and inspired.
Yeah.
So, but for the convention, I have to get up early, so I'm gonna have to try to taper that. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like what I'm hoping to have is a assembly required colorway exclusive back kit. So I'll probably try to get, if I can get that finished. I've been doing these mini runs of 6. My first drop was like 2 runs of 13, 2 different colorways, and then it was just, it went so fast, and it's kind of like I have so many different ideas. It's like I don't want to paint too many the same way.
Yeah.
And also I want to keep it interesting. So I did a Devilman colorway that sold really fast. I had some at Toy Art Gallery for Decon. And then they took a couple leftovers to Japan, and a buddy of mine was able to get one. But that was based on the 70s cartoon. And then because I'm into like the Pachi knockoff versions of things, I got a really nice old Pachi Devilman that was beat to hell. I mean, it was smashed, cracked down the side, glued, missing his heel, a lot of paint wear and stuff, but it inspired this. So like this is the gold gloves, trying to take his kind of like his head structure and kind of apply it to hair and kind of like, so you were talking about masks, like, yeah, I made a custom mask for that red, and it's so dumb, like so backwards. It's like I spray a metallic red and then a regular red, and then the eyes, and then the pupils. And so there's a lot of masks. Like I'm trying to tweak the design to where it's like not rubbing on the nose too much, but it still snaps on. And one of the big boy banks I had early on, the way that the straps come together, like, so I usually leave this gap because it's 2 different masks, and I just love it so much because it's like it looks fine from the front and on the back, and it doesn't quite sit well. There's no sculpted line here, so I just hand spray that, and so and there's gradients. People, when you look at it upside down, like there's always a shadow color under the chin. So the faces usually have like 2 or 3 colors. And I don't even know if people notice that, but I think when you have a whole shelf lined up, if something's painted flat, it feels like part of that. And so I think that's part of, because I paint realistically, that's what I'm trying to do in the toys. It's almost kind of like paint more life into it, paint some direction, a subtle directional lighting on the face. But yeah, I don't know.
That's something that I did not notice on those, man. But that's crazy that you paint it like that with actually those kind of lighting effects that gives, kind of plays into that old timey look even more. Yeah, that's interesting. Super cool. I don't know what to say about that.
Yeah, dope.
You mentioned earlier that you typically run 6. And I'm just being nosy. How many hours would you say those 6 take you from start to end?
I haven't
Say what?
kept track. I don't know. It's probably I don't do them all on the same day. It's kind of like whatever stage. Like I paint the hair, wings, and shoes. It's 3 masks that have to get taped on just right. And if there's a gradient, I have a second gun, so I'm like spraying one color and then I switch the hose over because I don't have a divider yet. Or I have to like cleaning the gun is the longest. You know, cleaning a color out, moving to the next. So it's I am kind of refining the assembly line. But even like this mask, sorry, I mean, there's 7 colors on that. So like the hat has 2 colors, the skin has 2 colors, the flesh has 2 colors, and then there's red in the mouth, black trim. So it's how I want it to look, but I'm trying to get to that point to where it's at some point you're like, how much do you put into it versus what you can get out of it? So from a practical standpoint, part of me does want to do simple flat colors, maybe fewer applications. We'll see. It's a control issue. It's like, can I let go? Can I, because when I see it in other work, I appreciate it. Sorry, I know we were kind of like wrapping up, and then I just went all back into production.
No, not at all, man. I was actually
That's my bad too.
no. I had another question, dude, that totally lost my mind. And then you started talking, and I remembered. But it even ties into this a little bit, man. With so much work going into all these figures, I mean, especially the masks, like the transport to assembly required. I know that some people are driving, some people are flying, some people are sending their stuff ahead of time. How much thought and time and effort for both you guys, Eddie? I know that you're driving out there. Do you put into just making sure your shit gets there in one piece?
A lot. And I had to get my car worked on today. I got a new van, and I got to make sure I got fucking clothes and toothpaste and a toothbrush and money, and it's a lot of work. And then you always fucking forget something you need.
I got
It's a
extra
lot
toothpaste
of.
for you, dude. Don't worry.
I've been preparing for it all week.
Yeah, I haven't planned any, like tomorrow. Yeah, I said I'm gonna go home and like finish painting toys, but I have to figure out sign it. Like I have a banner that makes it feel a little official, but as far as do I want everybody to ask like how much is this? How much is that? Like I'm hoping to design something, print it out, and have simple little some kind of legend or list.
Yeah.
Yeah, so all you little kids out there that think you want to be a resin boy, can't live this life.
Oh man.
No, it's a lot.
Yeah, it's I mean, yeah, dude. I mean, I think and you guys are kind of at different ends of the spectrum. That's why I was saying that it's at least Jonathan's not on his own 100% doing this. I think with you and Max,
I think I could do it. I think I could do it. I
easy.
just, to me, it was perfect, like that it worked out this way because the only 2 people that are going to be there that I speak to regularly are the people I'm sharing a booth with. So
Yeah.
All the sharks on the floor of assembly would eat them up,
Oh yeah. It's a grinder, man. It's a beast. Shit. But I mean, as far as remembering everything for the show, but it sounds like you guys are both kind of still working on it, signage and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I think that's stuff that you probably work on all the way up till the time that you go. But it's going to be cool, man. It'll be a good one. I think everybody's looking forward to pretty much everything that's been going on there. Buying, selling, just kind of hanging out. Everybody kind of being there for the same reason. Fletch would point that out. Yeah. That makes sense. Anyways, either one of you guys got anything else? Man, what time are we? Oh, we're at about 7 o'clock. We're about 7 o'clock. Are you guys staying afterwards? I mean, there's a lot of other stuff to do around there. I know there's like that pinball museum is right there. Um, there's some other sites and kind of museum type places. Do you guys try to do any of that other stuff, or how long you staying there after the show?
We're
I'm leaving
staying
Monday.
Saturday. We're staying Sunday night, but heading back Monday. Max and I haven't really decided.
It feels like there's a lot of time, right? Because I think on Saturday it's 11 to 5, and then on Sunday I think it's like 12 to 5 or something like that, or 11 to 4, something
Yeah.
like that. But it's, between, before and after. I know that there's some setup time, but once the show's over, it's over, man. It feels like there's going to be a lot of kind of downtime. Um, Godzilla pinball, yeah, that is a good one. I just feel like there's a lot of time to do some other stuff, and I know that there's a lot of stuff in Asheville going on there. But either way, Matt usually has a little something going on Friday, I think, when everybody gets there. So
And Saturday night, there's like that show, that after party puppet show thing.
oh, is that going on this year?
Yeah.
What
There's
about
always an after party.
what about hotel room tatties?
That's happening, but I might not tattoo Saturday night because I tattoo every night there every year. I never do anything else. So I already got a couple things lined up, and then I'll just see what happens.
Those are always, God, dude. I think every assembly required that I've been to, it seems like there's always tattoos going on. What a cool little side hustle for you, Ed.
Yeah,
B's gonna come back and he's gonna have the fucking Bat Boy mask. Just
I've been
straight
tattooing a lot.
tattooed on his fucking face.
I know I should draw that up and just make people get it. People will probably get it, you know.
It's subtle. It's a little
Yeah.
subtle tattoo, subtle face tattoo. Oh man.
Funny.
Well, what do you got? That are you bringing any new stuff there, Ed? What do you got? What do you got working up? I know Jonathan's got a new resin piece he's bringing.
I
A couple new
I got
things.
I got my 3 vinyl toys, and I got some new paint jobs, and I got some resin, and I got some gorgons, and yeah, some of these, and so yeah, this guy.
Oh yeah, that's a good one.
So yeah, I have a nice little variety. So yeah, I don't really have that many card backs. I just have plastic card backs. So I don't know. Yep.
When you say the plastic card backs, you mean your resin casted card backs?
Yeah. These. I have another one here. But
I just have, right? I just have these sick ass fucking hand sculpted, hand casted.
Oh,
I got 3 of them. So this one's weird. They're fun to make because it's just a flat drop mold. So
I really like the way you layer those, where you pour the deepest parts with one color.
like I said,
no, I was just gonna say, just take off on what Jonathan said. I had posted a picture of a piece from Alter Toys, and they do that same process where you can tell they put different colors of resin in at different levels, and you get that super sick look. I know Fletch knows what I'm talking about with Alter Toys. He does a lot of work with them, but
I'm gonna have
ooh,
a
what's
couple of
that?
these. These
What's
are my
going on
ski
with that?
masks. These are my ski masks.
What a criminal, dude. What are you doing?
Isn't that great?
What is that? Is it just your logo on the front?
Yeah, I had them I can't put it on because my earphones will pop out, but I had them embroidered, and then when I got I made white, and I was like, I'm gonna get white ones, and then I'm gonna sew on corpse paint, and so I do me and Allison do it, She did this one. This is a good one.
Those are sick, man.
Yeah, but we sit there with black thread and make them. But,
Eddie told me I have to wear one of those because I'm sharing a booth with him.
Yeah, him and Max. Him and Max will be in full military gear wearing one of these.
Wearing those.
Yeah, with a machine gun.
That's a catchy look.
Yeah.
I told him heavy guys shouldn't wear white.
Yeah. Makes you look fat.
Oh man, those are. And do you have some of those for sale?
Yeah, I'll have like 2 or 3.
2 or 3.
Yeah, I only ordered 5 because it was like a test run, and then somebody bought. I sold 2 of them, so I was like, all right, I got 3 left, and I'll just order more. But like, I don't know, I don't just like order 50 of everything. Like, and like I usually make most of my stuff. This is like a weird thing. Like, you know, I had to get them embroidered, so. But I'm definitely going to get like 30 of them made. But my dumb ass has to sit there and sew them.
That'll keep you busy.
Yeah.
I was gonna say you gotta do something while the resin cures. Come on, man.
Yeah.
Jonathan, I think Crumbs asked how long it was taking you from start to finish on a bat kit, and you said there really is no.
It's I mean, typically there's about 15 applications. And it does behoove me to do assembly line, like the colors loaded in the airbrush, you know, pop this mask on. And I mean, the Vinyl Wonder paint is so magical. I've painted with different types of paint professionally, and it's the most user friendly. I mean, I've probably painted about 60 bat kids total so far. And I literally think I've only ever once had my gun kind of load up to where I was like, oh, I actually need to take this apart and clean it. It's acrylic is terrible. Like when I was painting the masks, it was gumming up, and it's just part of using an airbrush. But I don't know. It's you have to wear breathing stuff, have the exhaust and everything, but it's worth it because it's just so user friendly. I'm using that Vinyl Wonder on all these, like the spray. It's just like the textures are just so smooth, like the way it lays down. Unpaid. It's just really nice. So a lot of like sometimes fighting the gun takes time, but I mean, it probably takes me like oh man, I hate to guess, but maybe like an hour and a half to 2 hours per figure, you know, spread out in a weird kind of way. But it's almost one of those things too, where I'm misquoting, but I think somebody said, like, asked Picasso, like, how long did it take to paint that? And he's like, 30 years, you know, or something, because it's like, maybe it took 30 minutes to paint, but like I had to work a dozen different random creative jobs throughout my life to get me to the point to where I can do this.
Sure.
And so it's kind of like, I don't know. I used to joke like the first 4 letters of painting is pain. And I don't know why it feels like it has to be difficult all the time. And when something gets easier to do, it's almost kind of like that creative urge. It's like, how can I throw a wrench in this and make it more challenging? So I don't know. It's just they fall in a, I don't know. What are you going to say?
Just that all you artists are masochists, man. I've been saying this since day one. You're all fucking masochists. You'll literally choose the hardest way, the most grueling, painstaking way, and you've nailed it, man. Like, even once you do figure out a way, you're like, well, now I want to challenge myself even more. I think that is part of the problem-solving creative's brain. And even with like all your different masks, like that's problem solving. Not many people would think to have that many masks to get the effects you want.
Yeah. My hand's shaky. So like if I try to like draw a line with the airbrush, it's wrong most of the time. You know, so it's almost kind of like and I know that if I use 2-part epoxy sculpt, like I could create really crisp, hard-edged masks, but that isn't the effect that I want. So and like I said, my regular day job is painting, very detailed. Like, God. This is an oil painting I'm working on. It's pretty close to being finished.
Oh shit!
But like, so
Dog.
this is detailed and precise. And so
Bro.
when I paint old toys, like I remember when I first started buying old toys to put in my work, I would just type in vintage squeak toy, cheapest to most expensive, and you just see these like old ratty paints worn, they're dirty, stained, like and those were the ones that I wanted. It's like, oh, this thing has lived life. You know, I can relate to this thing. It's been dragged through the dirt and it shows it's got scars, battle damage. And so I think it's kind of come full circle for me to like realistically paint those types of things. But then it's like now that I'm actually making the toys, I want them to feel, I don't want the precision. I mean, the sculpt is good. Like you know, that Venn diagram for what is it? Cheap, fast, and great. Pick two. Like you can't have all three. I mean, the Mexican vinyl doesn't have the gloss that like Chinese and Japanese vinyl have. There's definitely little like pin spots, like irregularities in the mold, some slight texture and stuff like that. But I remember when I first told Eddie I finally ordered it, I said, I'm hoping to see like the first pull. And he's like, I hope you don't see it. I hope you just get it because you're buying Mexican vinyl and that's like, you should get what you get. And so when they come and I'm kind of surprised by certain elements of it, it's just like, this is the challenge now, is how do I incorporate this? And it feels fitting. I really, yeah, I'm happy with this choice. And so I'm not sure when Bat Kids friends are going to start showing up on the scene, but they're in the design works, and I'll probably keep getting this line made through the same factory because I want them to feel like they exist in the same world.
Yeah, they are. They're awesome, man. They really do have a really nice feel to them. Kind of going back to some of the similarities between painting and then toy making. Is there something that about toy making that drew you into it from painting, where you saw some similarities, or was there something different about toy making? Maybe it was the timeline, or maybe just the fact that it was something tangible that you could hold. Was there something different about toy making that kind of pulled you into that or made you want to do that?
Yeah, I started when I started painting. I lucked into knowing some people with really amazing like vintage and antique toy collections who would loan me things that I could never afford to buy. So I was able to paint really cool old tin toys, motorized toys, and things like that. And then, but I started kind of amassing my own. Like, and as I was buying things, I'll actually show you the example. I bought this clown bank to use in a painting, and it says press. So you feed him a coin, and then the weight of it pulls his tongue back in. And after painting this toy, I saw 5 other, probably over the course of a decade, 5 other still life painters painted the same toy, and I was like, and people who aren't artists, it's like, when you're an artist, you see the way that the brushstrokes are constructed, you can tell people's style, but a lot of people look at subject matter and say, is that your painting because it has this like symbol monkey in it? It's like, no, that does, in my mind, I'm thinking that doesn't look like my work at all, but subject. And so like I painted this toy again, but I just taped some Ronald McDonald legs on him. And nobody else has that one. You know,
That's
and so
awesome.
like to me, like this is a version of like a head swap. And so like the very first head swap I ever did was Pillsbury Doughboy body with a 50s lamb head, and it just completely became its own character. That was probably like 16, 17 years ago. And I realized, okay, it's not just about vintage toys. It's kind of about like, if I have something to say and I can't find the prop for it, I'm going to start constructing things and making my own custom one-offs. And that kept happening in a more and more elaborate way. And then really it was learning about when Earth Kentucky opened up. One Trick Pony told me about it, and I went to their first, I think I went to their second show ever. And I thought, oh, there's a market for this. Not just because it was about sales. It was like, maybe more accurately, I could say, here's an opportunity to kind of like delve into making these one-offs. And what killed me was like every time I was in a show, I would make the one-off, and then it would be time for the show and it would sell, and I never got to do a painting of it. And so oddly enough, like I still haven't done an oil painting portrait of Bat Kid yet. But that's the goal. Like I thought, I'm going to make my own toy, paint it with rough masks, and then detail lovingly, like render those oversprays in like a formal portrait. So I have to hold on to them. That's like, this is a prototype. These eyes were probably painted like 6 different colors before I landed on that. And so it's slightly different. And I wrote prototype on the foot. So I'm slowly kind of amassing. This was the very first Bat Kid I ever painted. He has like the European brows. He's a little heavier brows. I ended up making them thinner, but this is a lighter version of the very first release. So that's the only way I'm kind of able to keep these with some kind of. But hopefully he works his way in. And actually, like the running, the logo on the header cards that you have, B.
Yeah.
I imagine there's a personality there. He exists in a world, and it's a very non-posable toy. You know, it's he's just standing.
Yeah.
You can turn his head. So I think future goals are kind of like doing paintings that kind of tell his story, how he meets certain friends. It's almost kind of, I would say the most direct connection in my mind is almost kind of like Monster Kids in the movie Stand By Me. Just this kind of like clubhouse, kind of living, you know, no adults around, just kind of doing stuff, figuring out life.
That's not the secret knock.
I forget the secret knock, guys. Let me in.
Vern. Oh man. And I think that's something that you can speak to as well, man. You know, I know that you and I have talked before. You said some of your favorite tattoos to do are some of the toys that you've made, or just kind of toys in general. But using toys as a base, you know, not only for your tattoo work, but for some of your canvas work, and some of your larger prints that you've done, with some almost flash style work on it. I know that that's something that you always continue to try to do. Talk a little bit about bringing some of those figures, kind of like what Jonathan said, you know, with his figures kind of going the other way, where um, uh, he did the paintings first and then the figures, and you're kind of doing it in reverse order there.
Yeah, I don't know. I try to stay tattooing stuff I want to do, so, and stuff I'm into. So, you know, but sometimes I draw characters and then sculpt them, and sometimes I just sculpt stuff and then make up characters that way. I kind of do things all over the place, I think, you know.
Yeah, I think a lot of your work too, man, is a lot of it seems like you go back a lot into a lot of, sci-fi stuff. I know one of the pieces that I brought out just behind me, dude, is this. This is one of my favorite ones
Mm,
that you've done, dude, the space face.
Yeah, I
Um,
love that too.
yeah, dude, and I think it's really got kind of like that 50s kind of vibe to it. That cape is super sick. But just the stance and then the fact that it's got the Skeletor face on it too with that airbrush work. Look at that, dude. That is super fresh. Um, but anyways,
Yeah,
uh but yeah, I mean, I think the just the mix, no matter how you do it, if you make the toys first and then do paintings of those or vice versa, um what a cool mix, or what a good play off of each other, for one to make the other. So pretty
yeah.
cool, man. It seems like it's just kind of limitless too, right? Like if you're making figures, you could always do art, and then if you're always doing art of those, you can always try to make figures of those as well, which I think you know that works really well, obviously, with Bat Kid.
I'm
um
always trying to figure that out and like which ones I'm gonna do and all that stuff. But whatever, you know. But
Yeah, well, I mean, God, dude, you got so much going on. I mean, we haven't even really talked about, your comic book, which I honestly think is, fucking A, bro. Like at the end of the day, I think that comic book is going to be one of the dopest things that you've ever done. Because I think it's really that good. Not to say none of your other shit is dope, because it's there's a lot of dope stuff that you've done, but that comic book is off the charts, dude. That's something else. What's the immediate plan for that?
I don't know, just print it. And then I already sculpted one of the characters, but I don't know, just get it out and then see. I'm gonna figure out when I get back from the show. I feel like I'm so busy, dude, and I'm even busy after this when we hang up. I got so much shit to do. It's like I don't know when. Like I'm trying to figure out what to do when I get back. I'm trying to plan that before I even leave for the show. So I want to get the comic book printed first and then see like how I feel about it, and then I'm gonna sculpt characters out of it.
Yeah, so that's the plan, to do some figures that are in the comics.
Yeah, trying, but as soon as I get back, I might want to start drawing a new comic. It's like I feel like there's not enough time. Like, I mean, that's just the
Well,
name
and
of
then
the
you got to
game.
work in your canvas work, and then your tattoo work, your regular
Yeah,
work too.
job. So it's like it's just a
Yeah,
lot. But
yeah.
I try to like give enough to tattooing because that's my livelihood, and it's almost like I just do whatever I want. If I want to do a canvas this week, I do a canvas. Like
Yeah.
so.
I don't know. Crumbs dropped off again. I don't know if he's going to end up coming back in or not. I think he's probably trying, but um, I did bring a couple things, dude. You guys want to take a look at a couple of these pieces that I brought this week? They're just from a
yeah.
couple different artists. Check this out. So this is one from Green Plastic Tunnels. I don't know if you guys saw these that came
I,
out just
I
within the
got one
last.
of them. They're
Yeah, they're
awesome.
sick, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, those are cool, man. 3.75 scale, and it's just static, but he's big on the colors, and that's a sick figure, man. I don't know. I can't remember what it's called, but it's a cool looking
yeah,
one.
it's a great mashup. How it's like each piece is so distinctly unique, but even like the scale shift of like the waist, but just it really works well together.
It does, man. It makes it almost look like he's got on like costume pants or something like that. Um, but yeah, super cool. There he is. Uh, but yeah, and I think it's similar to yours, Jonathan, how you said that, when people look at your toys, or your paintings, you want them to have a certain feel. And that's exactly what I get with Green Plastic Tunnels, especially the color palette that he uses. I always like to say that his color palette is, besides this red and the blue, maybe a little bit of the blue, but it's like this 1970s Tupperware palette. It's like this weird kind of like greens and oranges and browns and mustard yellows and shit like that. But and then the mix up of them is always cool too. So bam,
Nice.
GPT.
Yo,
Yeah.
Brian, I got some people upstairs calling me up there. Do you am I being rude if I hop off?
Get the hell out of here. Get the hell out of here.
What's her name? I hope to see everybody there, dude. Stop by the booth and I'll call you later.
Yeah, I'll talk to you later. Right on.
Monday. Thanks, dude.
Yeah, Eddie.
Good.
Later.
Jonathan, we can wrap up with you too, man. I am looking forward to seeing you this weekend, man. I know you're busy. I'm sure you got stuff to do. You said you're on your way to paint some more stuff. Thank you for being on, dude.
I appreciate you guys having me. It's been yeah, I'm excited to be entering this phase, and I thank you for doing what you're doing and including me as being a part of it.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Thanks again for your time, dude. And we will see you. We'll see you this weekend, man. Safe travels getting there.
All right, you too.
Right on. Thank you. Boom. I think we probably could have talked to them all night. There's so much stuff that I think that we just kind of barely scratched the surface on. But man, that's going to be a hell of a booth though, dude. Holy smokes. RessinBlood, Jonathan Queen, and One Trick Pony. What the hell? Yowza. That's going to be a good one, man. Hey, you're sideways. I think you were trying to, I know you're trying to change the orientation, but it's like, it just changed you, like the screen that it's showing. So now you're the other way. Now
Going insane here tonight, dude. So one, I don't even know what my audio is like right now because I never do this shit on my phone. But I didn't want to just leave you hanging like the last time. I don't know what the hell is going on. Fucking internet disconnects, telling me I got drivers not connected properly. I'm like trying to get this shit going back here while I'm also trying to like text with chat support while they're talking to us about toys. Oh,
it sounds better now.
gosh,
When
man.
I talk, it sounds a little echoey. I don't know if everybody else can hear that or not, but it's fine. You're good.
The echo is not your fault. For those who don't know, B is basically in like 1/3 of just like this massive auditorium toy style room in a mansion-esque home. So when they're talking and you're hearing this reverberation, that's all it is. Sometimes their toys are literally shaking also from the bravado that B has. If you guys haven't noticed, B obviously with that goatee has a very deep bravado. So of course it's gonna sound very echoey and stuff where you are, man. I sound almost like a mouse begging for cheese over here. You know?
Oh man. You want to look at some more stuff?
Please. But you know what's driving me insane? I can't make people full screen. I was looking at it earlier because I don't do the phone thing too often. So I was literally looking at it being like, how the hell do I get these guys phone screen? You guys might have seen my thumb earlier hovering when the old Jonathan Queen was talking. I was doing one of these, clicking on like all these freaking different options here. But if you're going to show us toys, I want you to go full screen. Here, I'll do this.
Did you want me to put the comments on the screen? Is that what you were saying?
Oh, it doesn't matter. I can do that part. For some reason, I've got that.
Okay.
I've got easy access for that.
Okay.
But the problem was when Jonathan was in earlier and RessinBlood, the chat was going to be sitting right over top of their face. So I was like, DNS, you missed it. We flipped our camera and it doesn't want to. I've got to actually play with the orientation on the actual app, but I never use the StreamYard app. And then on top of that, all my drivers aren't working. Even admittedly, my a close, I don't know, my partner was over earlier, and when I told them about the internet, even they were like, "But the tabs," because even they saw me earlier, man, just fucking pumping out all those tabs. Wanted to have tabs of like the work, could have been showing off Jonathan Queen's freaking mask on their pieces. The Resin Boys could have been showing off RessinBlood's fucking backers. Driving me nuts.
So that was my question: so you do not have access to the tabs?
Not yet.
Okay.
We'll play around. We'll see what we can do.
Well, I was just gonna say because if not, then after I show, I have a few things to show, so I'll just keep on going until you say stop. Perfect. All right. So we just showed green plastic tunnels. I'm going to circle back on one that I mentioned a couple weeks ago. This was from Double Casket Toys, and I did show a few pieces from Double Casket Toys that I did get. One of them was the Nerd. The other one was the Gobstopper. The other one was this guy here. Dope. And the piece that came that was broken was the Bic guy. And I said it was a nice clean break, and I glued it, and bam, look at that. I'm not even going to tell you where it broke because you can't tell. But that's a sick one. That's from Double Casket Toys. Bam. Double Casket Toys, they do online Instagram show claim sales all the time. Check those out. That's very cool. All right. Now, just showing up today, we're going to go through this real quick. Hobo Zone issue number 4. Bam. This is a very nice one here. Hobo Zone issue 4. All kinds of good stuff in there. Wonder Goblin and Zymot.
That looks even better. I know it's gonna sound stupid because there's pictures of the cover, but it looks even better in person, even though this is over camera.
Yeah. Oh, it's good, man. Lots of good little articles in here. Look at that sexy guy, huh? Max.
What the
The Max Fun Zone. Check that out. Lynn's the Rat Boy. Hobo Toys put all the stuff that he's ever come out with in here, which was very cool. Check that out. Toysday. Bam. Very nice. Plastic Vomit is in there. False Idol Toys. But just if you can still get your hands on this, this is a great magazine. Pick this up. Hobo Zone issue number 4. How about these? I mentioned these a couple weeks ago, the Baffle Rack from Zymot. Check that out. That is so freaking rad. Again, it's the electroplated copper. But that is a super cool dystopian. I love the Luke Mockridge vibe this one has to it. Bam. And what's even cooler is that their little set. Bam. Those are
There's
super.
not a bad one in the bunch, man.
There really isn't, man. And the variation that you get on these is just super, super sick. These are the Baffle Rack Mary from Zymot. All right. Man, so now I got a few things in from how about this? I don't know if I showed this last week. I don't know if this, I think this just came in. I can't remember if I showed it or
I did
not.
not see that last week, and that is fun as fuck.
Yeah, dude. Healy, absolutely, man. New SWWF character. I think this came out, gosh, man, I want to say a few weeks ago, but just showed up in the mail the other day. Super sick, man. I don't know if yeah, this is a new pose too, for any of the characters. There was another Boba Fett that came out today with a different paint scheme on it, so that's cool.
Based on the 1979 12-inch. It was in the tabs.
Yeah, well, there you go. There you go.
Man.
Yeah.
Frustrating. Same as, it was one that I really actually wanted to show off because, one, there's somebody in our under 1,000, Doc Horror. And then on top of that, there were just some fun pieces. They dropped 2 this past week. One was actually those little aliens. I don't know if you saw them. They brought those like fucking flying discs almost that they're on. And then the head swaps. But then they also released the little frogs, the open mouth, similar to like their little sponge frogs. Yeah. Oh, sorry, man. Can you tell I'm annoyed with the fucking situation I did?
All good, man. Yeah, I know how it is sometimes, dude. It's just it's usually my internet or something that's fucked up.
You know what's so funny is I just upgraded my internet after this last happened. I increased my download speed. Now I'm sitting here, literally, you know how it is. You run the freaking troubleshoot and all that shit. Just keeps on telling you No, everything's good, dude. You're like, well, it is.
Yeah.
What other cool toys you got over there? Anything else you want to show off?
Yeah, dude. So the last three that I got are from Motley Miscreations. They are off the secondary market. I got it from kind of a friend of a friend. These ones actually came from a collector in Australia that I was introduced to through somebody else who was getting rid of a lot of Motley stuff. Some of this Motley stuff, man. I've tried to get two of these before. One of them I didn't even know it existed. I had to go back really far to find one of them. But we'll start with this one. This is a Wendy. Just an unbelievable piece, man.
Oh my fuck, dude.
Bro. Unbelievable.
That almost would look like a scraps piece, but the poor man.
And it glows like crazy, man. I'm gonna try to juice it up a little bit and see if you can see it, but it dude, it's nuts, man. I've tried to get one of these multiple times and just had never, like, the pictures for this thing are I can't wait because they're going to be super cool. The body is like a translucent pink. It looks darker on the screen, but I can almost see right through it.
Dre, that's gonna be Motley Miscreations. If I'm not mistaken, they're typically kind of known for their double cast work.
Yeah.
But that, dude, you know it's insane when you're in a lit up room, you hit it with the UV and it tries to fucking pop regardless.
Yeah.
Oh, that's fucking cool.
Dude, the marble on that, like, everywhere is just so fucking cool, man.
If that thing came at me, I'd punch it in the face so fucking hard.
So that's a Wendy from Motley Miscreations. Another Motley Miscreations piece. This is a vinyl. This is a Grim White from Motley Miscreations. Another super sick one.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is so out of their normal style, but holy fuck, dude.
Yeah, love this one. I don't know when this one came from, actually. I don't have a timeline on it. I haven't really found it yet, but in their thread, you got to go back a little ways. It's got their stamp right there, which is cool. Bam. Grim White. Nice vinyl piece. And this last one, man. So this one I really had to do some checking on because I had never seen this before. Dude, this is massive. This is called an eater bunny, Eater. This is all resin. Massive, dude. This thing weighs a ton. This is from early 2018. It is articulated. Check this out in the articulation, though. So I'm going to take his sword out. The articulation. So there's metal in there. And then that's the magnetic piece there. Eater bunny. This one also glows like crazy.
Dude, all three of those pieces, I've never seen anything like them.
Dude, this one's fucking nuts, dude. It's so heavy and just so massive, and it glows like crazy. The glow is really good on it too. And like I said, this one, I think he started sculpting this probably end of 2017, maybe earlier, but I think the first post on it was January of 18. And he said that he had been actually trying to produce this in vinyl. And he was talking to Grody Shogun, and Grody Shogun was telling him, like, it's just too hard to do in vinyl and make it articulate. So he decided to do resin. I don't know how many of these he made, but There's a few that are on his page, but they're old. Like I said, they're early 2018. Um, how does the articulate movement feel? It feels good, man. Actually, like I said, it is nice and tight. I mean, there is like you get it really good, like you know what I mean? Like there's some good clack going on. So it's
Sorry, dude. Can you
yeah.
face that articulation? Like, what kind of articulation is that? That looks kind of weird. Oh, nice. And yeah. It's like embedded in. What the fuck is that? Is that a bolt?
It's like a bolt, bro.
And then he's using the neolydium magnet strength, so you're saving. Instead of using 2 magnets, you're using 1 magnet, 1 bolt, but still getting that insane clack.
Yeah.
Oh, that's sexy.
So, and I don't know if this arm articulates too. If it does, it's stuck right now, and I don't want to mess with it.
Yeah.
But the sword is beefy, and it I mean, it's nice, dude.
Yeah, no, that's a beautiful piece, man. All 3 of those, they almost seem like showpieces, Those don't seem like pieces that somebody just pops up on their page. Those definitely seem like pieces you see at a table.
Yeah. Oh, and then on the neck there too.
Yeah, I like that. That's intriguing. Yeah, that's really intriguing. I like that a lot. If anybody didn't notice either, Heavy Cold Cuts has a bunch of sick deals on their page going right until February 14th. So if your loved one or yourself needs a little treat, check that out. They've got a whole bunch of marked down stuff, 2 for product,
Nice.
$5 off. So, Bluralize arm head swap.
Arm head swap, yeah. So that was it, man, on the Motley pieces. There's a couple other ones that I got too that are super cool, but we'll save those for another time. But yeah, like I said, man, those ones, and those ones and the HH, the fingernails, all within a couple weeks of each other, man. And it's weird how all that happens. You wait 4 or 5 years for some of these things to come around, and you just never see them, and the next thing you know, that's just like everything's available at the same time. So
I love that. It seems like because we always talk about that, dude. I know that sounds so dumb, but we talk about it all the time about how, like, the hope is that there's going to be people out there that when they're looking up, as silly as it is, like wrestler kaijus or Canadian toys or whatever it might be that they're looking up, they find websites like that and acquire these pieces and look into these names of artists and learn more about them and learn more about their work and amass a collection of their own of that style. Like, I love that shit, dude. That's doesn't get more punk rock than that. That is kind of what that shit is, right? Is tracking down these people that you just love their work. You can't get enough of it.
yeah, man, and what's crazy is that like some of these artists have so much work out there. It's like you swear that you've seen almost everything, and next thing you know, you see something, and I'm like these right here. There's not too many posts of those at all. So first of all, you got to go back to 2018, and then there's like one post and then another post, like kind of back to back. But if you're scrolling and you're not really looking for it, it's very possible that you'd miss that, and then like I said, you look at the work now and you see this big giant resin solid piece, with magnetic movement on it. And I'm like, that's definitely different than what I've seen from Motley. But I think it just speaks to the library of some of these artists, man. There's just so much out there. I mean, there's still Healy stuff that I come across that I've never seen, which still blows me away. I'm like, well, when did that? Where's that? But then on the flip side of that, man, it is always fun to kind of start the treasure hunt of scrolling back through their stuff, maybe even Googling some pieces if you know the name of it, or if it was a collab with somebody, just to see what comes up.
It almost becomes the equivalent of, let's say you're somebody who wanted to collect all the OG vintage Star Wars figures or all the OG Motu lines. You get them, and then where do you go from there? knockoffs, rip-offs. Some of these start, and that's why some of these other like knockoff bootleg lines are so famous now, is because people are like, well, I want to keep collecting. I'm obsessed with this. I want to learn more. I want to see my homies more. I want to fill up my collection. There's always that, well, what do I collect next? And I think that's also kind of what happens here. It's like you're sitting there being like, well, what do I collect next? Right. So you fall in love with Healy Made. And then you're like, well, I want to get it all. I want their vinyl figures of the wrestler. I want their fucking Star Wars resin cast versions of them. I want every Raider. And what's sick with somebody like that too is you also get a really nice taste of their portfolio. You're seeing things that are factory PVC. You're seeing things that are in-house resin casted. You're seeing vinyl that's Japanese Safubi. Like you're just seeing this huge array of legit mediums all in one person's portfolio.
It's crazy. And you know what's funny, man? It's like whether they advertise it or not, like you can scroll back to through some artist stuff and then see some stuff that we may not necessarily know them for that's in their feed previously. For instance, Pope Toys, right? Now, if you just know Pope Toys from Resin, I encourage you to just scroll back through and just take a look at the Warhammer type figures that he was making, and not only making but painting as well. There's some killer work in there. General Porpoise, man, you go back far enough and you start seeing some of his work that he's in, some of his other mediums, some of his pottery work and metal work, and he's a writer. And it's some of these other talents that these people have. And it's cool to see, man. It's more than just what we look at every day. It's more than just vinyl and resin. It's a little bit of everything. It really is a little bit of everything, man.
Yeah, I know we didn't end up doing the tabbies this evening, but it's 1:45. You want to let these yahoos get on with their evening?
Yes, we should, man. For yous going to Asheville this weekend, I will see you there. That will be a fun one. Got new magnets that came in today. New magnets and new stickers came in. Ooh, Nim Studios, what's up, dog? So yeah, this weekend at Assembly Required, that's going to be a fun one. Friday, Saturday, Sunday is what we're going to do there. And Eddie, RessinBlood, and Jonathan Queen, thanks for coming in, man.
Who's next week?
Oh God, dude, let me see. I don't know if we had anybody.
Can you hear all their notes shuffling there?
I know that we'll be talking about next week. Yeah. Scum Pit Comics, which is also Scum Pit Toys. We'll take a look at that. Scum Pit Comics has a new store that they opened up that carries a little bit of everything, including bootleg toys and Safubi and resin toys. We'll take a look at that, and then if you do some looking on their account, they also have some Safubi toys that they have made too. So that'll be cool.
I know for a dang fact we're gonna get off the podcast. I'm gonna go to their page and go, oh fuck that's them.
You know what? When I heard Scum Pit Comics, I'm like, who is that? And then I saw their figures, and I go, oh,
ain't that the way?
Yep. Yes, it is. Thank you for coming in, everybody. That was a good one tonight. Thanks again, Eddie and Jonathan. We'll see you fellas this weekend. Thanks for hopping back in, dude. Worked out.
No, hey, we try.
It worked out.
Night, dudes. Drive safe, everybody.